Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where I'm going to be checking out another BiS song. Now, just to cover this, you probably wouldn't know this, but I'm just going to tell you in case you don't. On this channel, we've done a lot of BiS. The other alternate idol group, who I believe are on the same record label, I think they're just BiS at the follow-up to BiS. They're like a spin-off almost. We heard a lot of BiS. They've been a real popular group on this channel because although I don't like everything they do, I love the fact that at the extremes they can be brilliant at pop and they can be brilliant at crazy stuff. Now, BiS, we first had them on the channel when one of the other reviewers, Bubbles, who's currently on a little bit of a sabbatical while he sorts some stuff out at home, he did a review of them. And then I sort of suggested, oh, well, I'm listening to BiS, can you listen to BiS? And he came back to me and was like, dude, this is really heavy. And I saw the video I'd reacted to before I posted it. I was like, yeah, that is a little bit on the heavy side. It's not really, sort of like the tone and the mood was like quite dark, and not just like in a sort of heavy metal, but in a kind of a disturbing way. Anyway, so then the guys on the channel, you guys were all saying, hey, listen to more BiS, and then I got some suggestions, and I just sort of got into I think it was on the Saturday live stream when I was talking to people, I was just like, hey, start off with something fairly middle of the road and then we'll work out from there. So anyway, the last track I listened to was a fairly middle of the road, nice one. It had its little cheeky bits, but they never quite crossed any lines. I've got no problem with stuff being a little bit extreme, it's just that I want to get into understanding the group musically before I want too much shock. Anyway, after that, I've moved on to one of the songs that have been suggested by BiS for a while. And I'm like, okay, I'll finally tackle this, although I've been told this is a little bit more disturbing. So let's see where this goes. This is Idol by BiS. So I'm going to do my best to enjoy this and give an objective opinion on the music as well as an overall opinion on what I see. Here we go, Idol by BiS. Enjoy! Yeah, we're definitely going for the metal. Very heavy, very good at doing that sort of heavy sound, but the rhythm's good as well. It's marching along with a good sort of headbang. This is a nice little rhythmic shift here. Good melody as well. Oh, okay, where are we going with this? It does seem to be conveying a message, so as long as they stay on tone, it's not shocking so much as it is interesting. The music's kind of simple, straightforward metal stuff, but it's delivered well. Good rhythmic shifts, good melody. I like this bit. Where are they taking them? Okay, so we're going to go back around to this. I hope the bridge develops more. Was that a Furby? I would have loved to be walking down the street when this came the other way. Like, okay. I think that's in Shibuya again. Like every music video is in Shibuya. And show the cutesy girl image at the end burning. Okay, you know what? Just first of all mention, because I was mentioning so much about the shock value, that was the good level of shock value. I think that was the shock. I mean, I don't understand the lyrics. I want to point that out. I mean, I couldn't really pick up on them. My translation, as you guys know, I've been following for a channel for a while, is too slow. I have to read the lyrics afterwards, and then I can translate them from paper. But it's hard sometimes when I'm listening. I pick up words and things, but not enough to really work out totally what the whole song's about, certainly not in detail. So I can't comment on that, but I would certainly say it looked like it had a meaning. I felt that there was, I am going to talk about the video first of all, the whole imagery of them on crosses. That was kind of, okay, the idea of, idolizing people to the point of, destroying them. That is actually, but that's a sort of thing that is actually quite surprisingly apt for a lot of these idol groups, where the people get idolized so much that they almost become martyrs to the fact, you get sort of depressed idols and all this terrible stuff. But, that was an interesting bit of imagery there as well, a little bit extreme. It was a bit of a shame that at the end you didn't get to hear one of them going, always look on the bright side of life. That would have really made the song for me. But no, that didn't happen. There was an interesting image as well, which I thought they did it really well at the beginning, where you had the sort of guys leant over and then he came over and without touching them, they were making them fall over. And it was kind of that whole idea of, there's no contact between these people and the idols, and yet they can have so much control over what they do. I thought that was slightly ruined nearer to the end when they had a scene where they sort of hit them. I was like, that kind of ruined that rather nice little what I thought that scene was supposed to define. So I thought it was an interesting video. Not 100% coherent, it could have been a little bit better. It sometimes stepped into slow motion, which is a bit of a shame, but basically the video was great. I say it was not so much great, it was better than I expected, and it certainly did convey what I believe was the point, until someone comes and tells me that it meant something totally different. Anyway, about the song. So the song, not a huge amount to write home about. It certainly has a lot of reasons that we should say, though, that it is really special, but also some reasons why I don't think it quite achieves the pinnacle of what it wanted to do. Now, on the good sides is the fact that obviously it was really played as a very straight metal song. I mean, there was no other instruments. They did just go straight for that sort of guitar. Well, okay, there was some sounds, but it was very much that guitar, vocals, drums, bass, and some disturbing sort of vocal effects and things as well. And yeah, that basically worked. It was interesting. The song had a good rhythm, moved along well. Like I said, I loved when it broke into that slow bit. It was a da 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 da, and the guitar started holding, because they went from that stabbing bit they were doing earlier, to holding these long, stretched out, delayed notes. I really like that. I thought that was a nice touch. It meant that the song had more than one tone to it. It went from rhythmic to melodic very well. It moved nicely. I think that most of its tricks were relatively simple. They worked, but like I said, because it was all basically down to your normal sort of three-piece metal sound, guitar, bass, drums, with the vocals as well. Because it was basically that, there wasn't any room for any other sounds to give it any special identity. Because it was doing sort of your stabbing rhythm, that was done really well, but like I say, we've heard that before. The big anthemic chorus was probably the best part of it, but again, we've kind of heard that thing done before, and, it was catchy, but we've heard catchier. The bridge was a bit of a letdown. A bridge can sometimes make or break a song, but the fact they just went for kind of like here's a really heavy sound and some scream stuff, it was effective. It had that little disturbing edge. I liked how they had the high-pitched noise, and they got a slightly lower, they got a tuned down vocal as well and put it underneath to give it a slightly weird twinge, as it was kind of a mixture of male and female sounds at points, because they were mixing a couple of octaves in there, I believe. There was some nice touches to it, but I think just overall, I felt like I wanted it to have a bit more detail. It wasn't a very detailed song. It worked very well in a very basic way. Again, it's one of those songs I sometimes say, if it came on and I was listening to this type of music, if it was on like a sort of a metal-y playlist, I would enjoy it, but I don't think I would seek it out. It's not catchy enough on its own, and it doesn't have any particular standout qualities that we haven't heard before. Unfortunately, I can't really speak for the lyrics, which is a shame, because it seems like it could be something quite interesting going on. So to me, this was a success, but I probably would have wanted it to be something more. Like I say, it's enjoyable. There's nothing wrong with it. But when I mean, actually, this is one of the things we have to mention. This is one of the reasons why these sorts of groups, and I'm talking about all of these idol, I'm going to call them idol groups as a general term, but these idol or pop groups who experiment with heavier sounds, this is why they have an advantage that they should use. You look at things like baby metal, you can say again, BiS, we were just listening to Des Rabbits on the channel not so long ago. You listen to all of those groups, and what they do is they go, okay, well, here's metal. We can do metal. We can take those things. But we're not, no one believes that we're a band, so we're not limited to just doing band songs. What else can we throw in because we're not a band? And that was kind of what I think was happening here, is that there was like, that was one thing missing. It's like they had kind of everything going on, but I was like, okay, well, you're not limited by anything that a band is limited by. You know, no one's going to go, hey, you guys didn't record that. They're just going to go, hey, it's on the record. So I kind of just felt like there could have been more added. They could have gone a little bit crazier, actually. I think in a way it felt a little bit restrained. So yeah, like I say, it works, it's good. It doesn't have anything that allows it to stand out, which for a group that isn't restrained on what sounds they can put in and what things they can do is a bit of a shame. But I think it conveys a nice, interesting message. The video is pretty good, has some moments where it's a little bit wobbly, but basically it's a very interesting video, certainly one that you'd remember. I liked this, and so far BiS haven't given me anything where I've gone, wow, that is amazing, but they've given me a lot of stuff where I've gone, yeah, this is interesting, you're keeping me interested, which is kind of one of the things I want. I don't expect every song I listen to be my favourite song, and we're always honest on this channel. I want groups to keep me interested though, so I can find out more, so I can see where they're going, so I can learn from you guys who know more about the artist than I do 99% of the time, certainly 9 times out of 10 at least. So, you know, guys, tell me more. Let me know your opinions as well, and hopefully we'll follow up on this soon. But certainly, I don't want this to be the last we hear from BiS. Very interesting, and they've given us variation at least, which is one of the main things I said I wanted from them. So for now, from Japan, so thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Ciao, ciao.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out more of our hundreds of videos we got online on this channel right now, or get involved in the discussion with us at the many social media links we've got in the description below, where you can suggest new videos and artists for us to check out on the channel. Or you can just do the usual YouTube stuff and, you know, comment, like, subscribe. You know how this works by now.